Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Friday, and hope you have a great weekend planned ahead. Today, right now, we are doing comics from the future, where we're going to preview for you some upcoming new series, variant covers, cool items coming out that you can put on order and guarantee your order as long as you get it to your comic shop in time. In case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And before we get into it today, if you could please take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just takes a second and we really appreciate it. And also make sure you check us out on Instagram and Facebook because we're posting new content on every single one of those platforms, different stuff all the time. So it is worth your while. All right, let's get into it for this week. What do we have, Jason?
All right, so first we're going to do our featured comic section where we go over issue number ones, mainly. Sometimes we feature ones that aren't, like, for instance, this week, there actually aren't a lot of issue number ones. However, we are going to start with Iron Fist number 1 from Marvel. Who is the new Iron Fist? My bet would be that guy right there on the cover.
It's a strong guess.
That's what I'm thinking. I just have the just sort of second sight about these things. But seriously, Danny Rand has done away with the Iron Fist power. He's done with it. And so what happens when demons start attacking the cities around the world and a new figure wearing all the Iron Fist gear, using all the same moves, shows up and starts fighting the demons? Who is this new person? So Danny Rand is going to try to investigate who this new Iron Fist is. Does his powers come from Kunlun or somewhere more sinister, perhaps? So Marvel's teased this for a while. This has been in the news that this is going to be the first appearance of this new Iron Fist. That's what they've said all through the news. So it'd kind of be a bummer if it turned out that he was a fake or something.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it the first appearance of this Iron Fist, but is it somebody we already know who's going to be Iron Fist?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
So here's our main cover. After that, we have our DRAGOTTA cover. And yes, this is the one of the GWEN covers. So that's why she's there on the cover of an Iron Fist comic about a new Iron Fist, no less.
As Domino, I guess?
I guess so.
Yep.
That's funny.
And there's also going to be a Todd Knock headshot variant, but that was not done in time.
You can imagine it.
Yeah.
Just
Zoom in really close on that A cover and imagine
And
it's just the head and you've got what it's going to look like.
All right, next up is Life Zero. This is a new one from Ablaze Comics, and this is going to be an ongoing series. It is written by Stefano Vietti with art by Marco Cicchetto, and who's currently working on the Daredevil series and Devil's Reign. So familiar artist to us all. This is going to be a sci-fi action horror series, and unfortunately there was not a lot of info out there about what the premise is. So sci-fi action horror. The solicitation said this is, or where were you when the cloud arrived? So I think it's safe to say that it's a post-apocalyptic situation. And we're going to have to, what is the cloud? What is happening after it? We don't know, but the world has changed forever. Yeah, it could be some rain. Some blood rain. So anyway, let's check out the covers. Maybe they can give us a closer insight into what's going on here. This is cover A. For Life Zero, this is cover B. Definitely some zombie-looking creature. Got some snow, maybe some crazy chaotic weather. Next up, cover C. And then...
Is there a little tiny man on that cover?
I don't know what you're seeing. I see some zombie-type creature.
It's the guy in the background. He's not little and tiny.
Yeah.
Jason's just making up crazy. Like, this could be anything.
We don't know what it is, so we got to make our own comic.
The threat of the tiny men.
They come from the clouds.
And then next up we have cover D. This is obviously an X-Men homage cover. So it looks like a prison break of some sort. So use these covers, piece together your own premise, or just be surprised by this new series coming out.
Next up, what's this? This is a number 1 or number 2 or number 11. This is a number 12. This is Joker number 12. There's a couple of reasons why we want to talk about this one. First off, James Tynion is finishing his run on Joker on issue 14. This is 12, so we're getting into the final stretch of, I'm guessing, what his original story arc was going to entail. What is the story he's trying to convey with this. Hopefully he will be able to finish it out in those 14 issues. But also, this is going to, I don't want to say tie in, but you'll have to see later on something we're going to be talking about, because in this one, Jim Gordon is actually going to try and save Joker from the horrible Sampson family, who intends to have a little Joker on ice, or a Joker on plank or whatever.
Joker souffle.
Yeah, so many different Joker dishes. But the backup story is the trial of Punchline continues as it grows more volatile, as the Royal Flush Gang is making a major play in Gotham City. And you'll have to see something I'll be talking about next that may also feature something involving the Royal Flush Gang. Maybe they're related. So this is Joker number 12. This is the A cover. Then we have the ZAFFINO variant, which is truly horrifying. And then we have the JONBOY Meyers cover.
I like all the green to that one.
Yeah.
All right, so next up from Marvel, Marvel is doing Marvel Voices Legacy one-shot. So you know the drill with these Marvel Voices comics. There are anthology comics in honor of something. This one is in honor of Black History Month. So we're going to just have an anthology of stories in honor of Black History Month, featuring many of the characters who you see on these covers. So this is the regular cover. Then we have the Bustos cover. And Bustos is one of the Stormbreaker artists, and they're going to have their first written story in this one.
Oh, cool.
I also read. Yeah, I've seen a lot of art from Bustos, but get to do some, see what the writing's like. Here is the Clarke variant. And then we have the COIPEL variant. And lastly, the Edge variant.
All right, next up from Dynamite is Draculina. So, Draculina is Lilith's daughter, and Lilith is the daughter of Dracula. Lots of family lineage going on here. Draculina is also Vampirella's younger sister. So, this is a character, just like Dynamite's doing with Pantha and a lot of characters. This character has actually been around since 1969. She first appeared in Vampirella #2, but really has not appeared in much else since. So, anyway, in this title, it's pretty convoluted of a description, which was this long, and this is what this show is for. I read this for you, okay? So, this is sort of a reality-bending title. Think of different just timelines and different situations that can occur. It's about one child, Draculina, and two destinies. So, it's about choices that are made and consequences that could take place in different sort of realities. So that sums it up, I think, the best I could do. So also we're going to have Draculina posing as a rich celebrity called River East, and that's who her soul is bonded to. So we get a little bit of something we can relate to. Not really. I mean, none of us are celebrities, I guess.
Whatever.
So
we're on the screen right now. We are celebrities.
You're a celebrity to me.
We're the most famous people in this room.
Yes.
Anyway, Dynamite has made sure to tell us that this is a good jump on title for anybody. They'll catch you up with what's going on in this weird world of Draculina. So this is cover A, and then we have a nice Rose Besch cover. This is B cover from Rose Besch. Cover C by March, and then cover D, KAYANAN. And yeah. Oh, also we have a TMNT homage cover for Draculina. So, make sure to grab these up if you've been collecting all of them.
Next up is kind of my continuation of what I talked about before. This is Justice League number 72, but also kind of related to Joker. Bendis is going to be wrapping up his run on Justice League very soon. I can't remember if it's issue 75 or is he going all the way to 80. I don't remember, but it's within the next few issues that he's wrapping it up. And in this one, the Royal Flush Gang has hatched one of their most elaborate plans yet. I wonder if it has to do with something in Gotham like we are hearing about in the Punchline backup story of Joker. So I thought this would be pretty cool as kind of maybe tying in. The Royal Flush Gang does not come around too often to do things. So it makes sense that they would affect stuff going on in Gotham. but yeah, this is sounds really interesting, and both creators are probably going to be leaving the titles with some kind of a lasting something. So that's usually an interesting way to lead into whatever the next writer is going to have. Are they going to kill a character off? Are they going to bring a character in? So if you haven't checked out some of these titles in a while, you might want to revisit them, see what's going on. This is our A cover. Then we have the Marquez variant.
All right, attention Marvel fans. Thor issue 20 is going back to print. They just announced this yesterday. So, I mean, this is the way things work in the comic industry sometimes. They announced it yesterday. We retailers have to have our orders in by Monday. Not a lot of time to get the information out there, and that's pretty much why we created this show. So, Thor number 20, going back to second print. Of course, this issue is the first appearance of the God of Hammers, which no one knew was going to happen right then. And of course, everyone sold out instantly, and people were just clamoring to get that first appearance. So here's a chance for you to get a second print of it. Of course, they're doing the thing that Marvel's done for a while, where they take an interior panel and make that panel the cover.
Mm-hmm.
So just want to make sure none of our viewers miss out on getting their order in for Thor number 20 second print.
All right, next up from Black Caravan is a title called Rad Wraith. And this is about a young skateboarder who falls victim to a prank by his buddies. He, prank gone wrong because he dies at the bottom of a half pipe. I gotta tell you, I'm a lame-o. I don't know what a half pipe is.
It's your traditional skateboard. If you imagine a pipe, you cut it in half. That.
Okay. All I know,
You know Tony Hawk.
is the Weezer song. Anyway, yeah, so prank gone wrong. He dies at the bottom of a half pipe, and that half pipe was built on cursed, the owner left it, was built on cursed land, apparently. So now it's coming for them. Let's move on.
This looks totally rad.
I agree. I mean, the art to this definitely has the right appeal to the people who like the name, who like the premise. So I bet you I'll be the one reading this one.
Oh, yeah. It's cool.
I'm fine with that.
I really like the
I want
cover.
to check it out.
Okay, who has ever seen this cover before? Well, maybe you did 20-something years ago, because back in 1992, Rob Liefeld released Prophet on the World, one of the early Image titles. And if you haven't heard, Prophet is getting a movie, which is going to be really cool. And so they are doing a facsimile edition of Prophet number 1. So Prophet, if you don't know, he is a homeless man from a World War II era who has been experimented on by a time-traveling scientist, where he becomes like a super soldier, and then he gets frozen, awakens in a world that he does not recognize in the future. If it sounds like Captain America, it's because it's very similar. But, you know, a lot of these Image titles and early characters are coming back, and a lot of people, for however goofy they are, however muscles and shoulder pads and everything, people have a lot of nostalgia for that time frame, and I think a lot of people are going to be really into this, rereading it, and especially because of these variant covers, some really awesome variants for this. Also cool they're doing variants for a facsimile, which I guess is the only part of it that will not be a facsimile. So we've got the A cover here, of course, by Liefeld. We have the Capullo variant. Now these variants I did some research on. They are not new art, but it does look like they've been recolored and maybe cleaned up a little bit. So it's really nice Capullo variant. We have, of course, a Liefeld variant. We have a Frank Miller variant. We have a Sam Keith variant, which was actually originally a trading card. They recolored it, sharpened it up a little bit, blew it up. Now you got this really nice Sam Keith cover.
All right, now we're going to go over other number ones, beginning with Hellboy and BPRD 1957 Forgotten Lives. So this is co-written by Hellboy creator Mike Mignola, and in it, Hellboy is back with Professor Broom. I always like to see them get to do things together. You know, to me, it's like Professor Broom, he's always dying in Hellboy. You know, he's always a moment away.
Yeah. It
happened too soon in the regular series. But it's back when they're together and they're investigating a series of hauntings happening at a graveyard, very appropriate, in New York City. So it's just a one and done. You know, that's why we do the show. Let your store know you want to order this, because otherwise you could miss this very easily. Hellboy in the BPRD, 1957, Forgotten Lives one shot.
I wonder if there's going to be a little Lobster Johnson. There's a little.
I see that.
The mark of the claw down there.
His trademark claw card. And those are probably his shoes, too.
Oh, yeah. Sneaking around.
All right, next up is G.I. Joe Real American Hero Yo Joe. This is a $7.99 100-page best of special. So lots of best ofs, as we have discussed on this show, the TMNT stuff, we got the Transformers. Now G.I. Joe is taking part of the action. So this is written by Larry Hama with a host of famous artists as well. So if you are a G.I. Joe fan, definitely scoop this up for just $8.
Next up is a new Rick and Morty. This is Rick and Morty Dungeons and Dragons, which we have gotten some of those before, but this one is the Meeseeks Adventure. And I thought the premise of this one sounded pretty funny. I don't know how much Rick and Morty are going to be in it, but in this, in the D&D world, a couple of rogues stumble upon the ultimate magic lamp, which is, you can imagine is the Meeseeks box, and will unleash a pleasant and very helpful, what they consider a djinn or a genie on the world. So it sounds really fun. If you've been reading the Rick and Morty stuff, you'll definitely want to pick this one up. This is our A cover. And then we have our B cover by Little.
All right, so this is TMNT Best of Jenica. So like Megan was saying before, a lot of best ofs that they've been doing. Of course, we've seen this all began with the TMNT best ofs, and so Jenica gets her own. It's just $5.99 for 100 pages, where you can see where she came from, all the best stuff she's been in so far. Of course, she started out a foot soldier and has ended up the first female Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So TMNT Jenica one shot, just $5.99.
All right, grab your heart-shaped box of chocolates, because we're going to show you some Valentine's specials on this show today, starting with Destiny New York Valentine's Day special. This is going to be 3 stories of love, yearning, and romance set in a world where magic is real. So, if you've been reading the Destiny New York series, or you just want to pick up this one shot for Valentine's Day, this issue is $5.99 with 3 different stories.
Next up, not quite as romantic, but this is Faithless 3, issue 1. This is the final part in Brian Azzarello and Maria Levitt's Faithless epic that they've been telling. It's been very popular, and this one, Faith, our protagonist, has been missing for a long time and suddenly reappears in the art scene. People are wondering, was this just a big performance art stunt, or was there something more sinister behind it? So this is a very adult book, but very well told, really interesting, very different. So this is our A cover by Levitt. And then there's also a very saucy cover that they are not going to show unless you order it. So if you want some of that Valentine's Day sauce, you know what to order.
All right, so trying to find love as a human is difficult. What about as a vampire? Well, Vampirella is having her own Valentine's Day special one-shot. So it's going to be an anthology one-shot of stories having to do with Vampirella and I guess people falling in love, Valentine's Day. I don't know what. I guess 2 lovers, their hearts are going to grow real big and fond of each other, and then she's going to suck their blood. I'm not sure what to expect from this. But this is the regular cover. Then we have the Lee variant, and that's spelled L-I. And I say that because the next one is the other Lee variant, spelled L-E-E. So 2 different artists.
All right, this is cool. This is Crash Pad. This is by Underground Comics artist Gary Panter, and this is his psychedelic ode to the Underground Comics that inspired him. So he's going to have stuff people like Robert Crumb, Robert Williams, those people who inspired him. This is sort of a tribute to them. So I didn't know much about him before I read a little bit. He was actually the set designer of Pee-wee's Playhouse during the 80s.
Oh, cool.
So he's also had a lot of artwork featured on album covers and stuff like that. So really cool underground comics one-shot here, Crash Pad.
Next up, it is Archie Love and Heartbreak Special. Of course, Archie, I mean, every issue could almost be called that. But this is for fans of the kind of modern take on Archie that they did for a while. This is an anthology. So it's going to be a lot of stories just in time for Valentine's Day, of Jughead going on his ideal date, and a bunch of fun stuff. So if you like those anthologies, you like Archie, this will be great. This is our A cover. And then we have the Ganicho variant.
All right, so next up, we are going over cool covers and other comics. Let's begin. So let's start with Batgirls issue number 3. This is the regular cover to that. In this issue, the Batgirls have suspected that street artist Tudor is behind the recent crimes and thefts that are going on. So they're going to investigate this street artist more. Here is the Jacinto variant for that issue.
All right, Black Manta is coming to a close. This is issue number 6 of 6, so the final issue here. And this is the Sanford Green cardstock variant. This issue will lead directly into Aquaman number 1, which is soon to launch. So don't miss out on this very last issue. There's been some delays here and there with it, but it is coming to a close.
And Detective Comics 1052. This is the Bermejo cover, really nice. And in this one, we're still dealing with the Arkham Tower stuff going on. And the inmates start reverting to their former murderous, villainous selves as some of the Bat family are trapped in the asylum. So, sounds cool.
All right, so this is the Bowden variant to Future State Gotham number 10. In this issue, the next Batman goes up against the next Joker. So next Joker already had his first appearance the previous issue, but now their first battle will begin.
And now, it's sad to say, Harley Quinn, the Eat Bang... Oh, no, this is actually Harley Quinn, the... Yes! Ah, guys,
That's
I got a headache
weird.
today. I took some medicine. It's made me weird. The Eat Bang Kill Tour, number 6. This is the last issue. Really fun series. Lots of people jumping in on this. Sad to see it gone. It's one of those I wish they would have extended. But this is the last issue, and this is the Derek Chew B cover.
It's interesting because Derek Chew's been doing the main
Yes.
Harley Quinn
So I
variant.
got a
So
little
do you see
confused.
that? Next up is I Am Batman, number 6. This is the Matina variant. But what's also interesting about this is the first issue where Jace Fox is moving him and his entire family to New York to set up being Batman permanently in New York. So it promises a whole new host of allies and villains for Jace, the next Batman. Sounds pretty cool. Then we have a variant. This is the Franklin Black History Month variant.
All right, this is the Godlowski variant for Legion of Superheroes versus Justice League issue number 2. In this, they explore more about the Gold Lantern. There's a lot of questions about the Gold Lantern. Somebody asked me a question the other day. I didn't even have an answer for them. But they're going to go into where do the Gold Lantern's powers come from, and could it be that there's a link between where their powers come from and this unfolding evil that is going across the universe and through time, which is the whole reason the Legion is meeting the Justice League.
And what is this? Is this a variant of that?
Yes, I'm sorry. This is the Travis Moore cardstock variant for that same issue.
And this is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, number 8 of 8. Lots of series ending this week. So this is the final issue, and this is the Janiana Medeiros cover. And I really like this one. Her hair reminds me of like a Botticelli painting. So it's a really pretty last issue for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow.
Then we have Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 8. Really love his hair on this cover as well. This is Superman makes himself the target of multiple bad guys in this, kind of taking all of the targets on him. But will he be able to withstand it? This has a B cover by In-hyuk Lee, and then whoop,
Nope. And that was it.
and that is it.
All right, so this is Wonder Woman 784. Right? Are we in the right spot? Okay.
Yep.
This is the Terry Dodson and Rachel Dodson, just a cover for this one. And I really liked the variant for this one as well. We're going to show you guys that too. This is a Mariah cardstock cover.
I like the way she's been doing Wonder Woman. It's a very muscular, very Amazonian.
I was about to say, that's the physique I'm going for. It's like a, a nice, like, almost tarot card looking, really, really, really pretty cover.
You put that poster on your wall as you're doing
That's my
sit-ups,
motivation.
and you look at it, and you're like, one day.
Everybody needs to have that as their motivation.
Next up is Amazing Spider-Man 89. This one we definitely wanted to let you know about because this is a Gleason variant. All of the Gleason covers so far have been amazing and been selling out. So make sure you put in your order ahead of time, especially since we don't see the cover. It's going to be under-ordered for sure, and you know it's going to be awesome. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 89. It's also Black Cat versus the Goblin Queen. So it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, big deal with covers not being shown, as we all have known this week if you pay attention to comic news at all. And that Star Wars Darth Vader 20. No, we do not have any extra.
Okay, so this is issue 14 of Black Widow. This is just the main cover. I really like what they're doing with the contrast right here. And in this issue, Black Widow is going up against the Living Blade, which last issue was all about their history. I mean, it just shows a fight they got in one time, the first time they met, and she barely escapes alive. I mean, she has to run away. Well, he's back, and now we get to see how she fares in more modern days against her enemy.
And this is Dark Ages number 5. Here is a Momoko Stormbreaker variant. I feel like we can stop calling Momoko a Stormbreaker. She's been here. She's here.
That storm's been broken.
But very pretty cover nonetheless for Dark Ages number 5. And then we also have a Sway Black History Month variant. Don't know what it is yet. It's probably going to be great. If you care about Black History Month and collecting these covers, you should probably go ahead and order it.
Next up is Devil's Reign Superior 4 number 2. I just reviewed the number 1 on the show this last Tuesday. I really enjoyed it. It's very weird, very funny, with Doc Ock gathering multiple versions of himself through different realities, and they're all kind of like a different Avengers member or whatever. But in this one, it says that those members are kind of getting tired of his leadership attitude, which I could definitely see after reading the first one. He's kind of controlling and a jerk. So this is the A cover for that, and then there is the Super Log variant, which mull it over and suss out everything you're looking at.
Okay, so this is the Bradshaw X-GWEN variant for Hulk number 4. So don't get it twisted. Don't miss out. This is Hulk number 4, just the variant for it. So yeah, we know that you're having to order out in advance. We are too. That's just how it is. But check it out. This issue, what it's supposed to be about is Hulk lands on a planet with alternate Earth history where Thunderbolt Ross is president, and he's got an army of gamma-infused creatures. So, I mean, you know what's in store. A big, big, big battle.
Big smashing.
Yeah, so there you have it.
And then we have King Conan number 3. This is the Anacleto variant.
Then we have Miss Marvel Beyond the Limit number 3. This is the McKelvey variant. And you can see on the cover that Kamala is thrown down with her doppelganger. This should be our first kind of full appearance of that character. She confronted her at the end of the last one, but we don't quite know all of the details about who this character is and everything. So this should be kind of our big introduction to that character.
All right, so this is Star Wars The High Republic, Eye of the Storm, issue number 2. This, of course, is more on the origin of Marcia and Ro, which has everything to do with the future of the Nile. So this is the regular cover, and then we have the Nodo variant. with the helmet off.
That's cool.
All right, more Thor this week. This is Thor number 22. We'll see what's going down in it based on what Jason said earlier. This is the Aspinall X-GWEN variant for Thor 22. And then we have the Talaski variant as well. Pick your fave.
It's a very intense stare he's giving you. Okay, next up is X Lives of Wolverine. So this is the weekly series that's going to go between X Lives and X Deaths of Wolverine. And no, you have not missed it. It has not started yet. The first one comes out this Wednesday. So I guess we'll be better prepared to talk about it when we talk about future issues, because we still don't know a whole lot about this series or kind of the format it's taking. We just know it's exploring some of the key moments in Wolverine's life, but we have to place our orders out this far ahead. So make sure if you've got a slight hint that you might want to read this, if you're a Wolverine fan, you want to go ahead and order it. So we've got this cover. Then we have the Bartel variant. Then we have the Charles variant.
Okay, so this is the trading card, the Dodderman trading card variant for X-Men number 8. In this issue, MODOK takes aim on the X-Men. I always like when they bring MODOK around. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this. So this is a trading card variant. Then we have the X-GWEN variant. I think everybody can tell who
she is
what
there.
raging Cajun she's trying to be. And lastly, there's also this Sway Black History Month variant.
I think that's the first one we've seen completed.
Yep.
Okay.
We know which one he started with.
All right, this is Apache Delivery Service number 2, the creepy cool series that just released this past week or the week before one, and this is just a 4-part series, so make sure you are signed up for it if you enjoyed it. This is the cover A for that, and then we have very different looking cover B by Romero.
Next up, this is Daisy number 3. This is a very interesting book when I got to read the number 1 about this this girl who may be descended from giants. So if you enjoyed it, if you read number 1, make sure you add it to your pull list, because this is when we're going to start ordering less and less of the issues. So don't miss Daisy number 3.
Okay, so this is the raw cut edition of Echolands number 6. So for every issue of this, they're going back to print, and they're doing these raw cuts where you get to see what it looked like when it left the studio of J.H. Williams III. So before they did any other coloring, any touch-ups, anything. So here is the one cover for that. And then here is the Francavilla variant cover for Echolands Raw Cut Edition number 6.
And then we have Monkey Meat number 2. How many of you picked this up recently? Really crazy, insane series from Image. This is going to be a 5-part mini-series. So if you like number 1, check out number 2 on FOC this week.
Next up is a Radiant Black. This is the Boo variant. Really cool. Radiant Black is really heating up, and then with all of the other titles that are going to be coming out around it, Radiant Red, and the big crossover event that's coming up and everything, don't want to miss out on this one.
All right, this is Spawn Scorch number 2. It is time to order your copy. Spawn the Scorch number 1 sold 270,000 copies.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's not necessarily the people. That's to us retailers. So we're ready for you guys to buy 270,000 more of issue number 2.
Show Todd McFarlane you love him.
That's
by
right.
beating the number
Go
1.
over. Let's hit 300,000 or more.
Why not?
So this is the A cover. I will say the premise is cool. The Scorch, they land in Russia, where they go up against a bunch of mutated creatures for some old army base. Yeah, I just want to see a bunch of weird creatures fight a bunch of different spawns. It sounds like a perfect way to get their power sets out there, show who is mean and who's nicer, that sort of thing. Here is the... Oh, we don't have it. I'm sorry. There's also a McFarlane cover to this one. It is not released yet, but here is your chance to order it.
And then we have another new mini-series. This is Fourth Man from AWA Upshot. This is number 2 of 4.
Yeah, I didn't read that first one, but I remember it had the Waffle House cover to it.
And this one has a really cool billboard with like hamburgers and stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, this is Mighty Morphin number 16. This is the FOC Reveal variant by Mig Young. And this one is going to be cool because this is a big, I think it's the end of the big story arc, and it's going to launch both Mighty Morphin and the Power Rangers series into the future. So probably get some new versions of the Power Rangers in this. Really cool.
This is the just messed up Hickman variant, the last book you'll ever read, number 6. In this, somebody asked a question if Olivia wrote the book to end the world, or maybe she wrote the book to help the world survive what is to come. So there's the Hickman variant, and there's also going to be, as with the other issues, a black bag variant. I bet that was on the cusp, that regular one we showed, of being a black bag variant.
Next up is Quad number 2. This is the Cover B Sanchez variant.
I get a real Mr. Roboto got a motorcycle vibe from this, and I like it.
So here's a couple of more homage covers. This is Evil Ernie number 3 homage. And we have Jennifer Blood number 5 homage. And if you don't know what this is homaging, of course it's Ninja Turtles, but it's not part of the main Ninja Turtle series. This is actually from the Raphael Micro Series number 1, the main cover. So really cool that they are, I mean, they're pulling from all of the different Ninja Turtles series and covers.
All right, here is the Fornes variant to Pantha number 2. Now, there's many variants for this one. We just picked out one that we thought was noteworthy. So if you want to check out the rest, they're out there. But if you enjoyed issue number 1 of Pantha, here's your chance to order issue number 2. Once again, this is the Fornes variant.
And then we have Doctor Who Empire of Wolf number 4. This is the Cover C by Quan Lano.
All right, so now we're going to get to other printings and graphic novels. I will say I have the first thing that's about to be talked about, and it's neither of those things. So I'm going to add an addendum and Marvel-based role-playing books. So here we go. So Marvel is releasing this multiverse role-playing game playtest rulebook. So I had to read a lot about this to figure out what they meant by that. I've been doing role-playing games since I was 11 years old. But a playtest rulebook, what they're doing is, this is a $9.99 book where it teaches you the basic rules of this new Marvel-based 616 system they've come up with. It'll help you roll up a character. It comes with an adventure. And then it also has instructions for how you can contact Marvel and tell them what you liked and didn't like,
Wow.
that they can later change before they release their full rulebook. So they're sourcing everyone for $10. Either that or they're milking everybody for $10 and they're not going to change anything. I don't know. I hope they're listening. I think it's a really good idea. I mean, the best way to improve a role-playing system is have a lot of people play it and hear what they have to say. So that is what this is. So just for $9.99, we've got 3 covers on this. This is the main cover. Then here is the Libera cover. And lastly, who does Marvel have chained to her desk all the time? The Peach Momoko cover.
Peach Momoko recently did an homage, or, in honor of Jack Kirby cover. I think she feels similarly to him, just pumping out the work. That was really pretty, by the way. Anyway, Devil's Reign number 2. This is the Chichetto second printing variant for that issue.
Okay, so this is the Something is Killing the Children Slaughter Pack bundle number 2. So you might have heard us talk about the bundle number 1 several shows back, where they put together issues 1 through 6, and they had David Mack do original covers for them. Well, this is the second bundle, so this is going to be issues number 7 through 13 of Something's Killing the Children, reprinted but with all new David Mack covers. It's $39.99. I really think if you're interested in this, you should ask your store. I think this is going to get ordered right about what people ask, a little over, and then people are going to find out last minute, grab them all up, and be fighting in the streets over them. Also related to Something's Killing the Children, they are bringing out comic art boxes. I was really happy to see this. So every shop prices these boxes what they want them to. There's really no MSRP. We'll be selling ours for $15, provided they don't raise the price between now and then. So that gives you at least an idea of what your store might ask. We tend to do just regular old Keystone pricing, so we're roughly around that. So $15, but the more people who pre-order these at our store or at your store, the more they'll probably order. So just wanted people to not miss out on Something is Killing Children art boxes.
But with those, once they do pretty much their initial run of them, they don't put them back in print.
You're right.
They're very limited, so...
We have learned that the hard way over the years.
Yes.
You know, it went from we buy as many boxes as we need for a month to now we buy as many for a year to I don't know if I have enough space for all. It's like, oh, they released a new awesome Weapon X box. Okay, well, we're going to need that forever. But they do one print run, and that's it. So, good point, Andy.
Get it while you can.
Yeah.
Oh, this is... I was quiet for so long. I was just watching the show. This is a new graphic novel called Secret Passages. This is $19.99, and it's an autobiography from another dimension. So, this is a wildly inventive cartoonist begins her imaginary memoir exploring the girlhood she never had. So, this is going to be... kind of some lighthearted comic strips, very much in the style of Calvin and Hobbes, full of pop culture references. It sounds really fun. So that is only $19.99.
This is Rockstar and Softboy trade paperback one-shot. It is a $9 exercise issue, I guess you could say. It is Cinegrace back after about 5 years writing and drawing this. And it's about two best friends and their antics in Hollyweird.
Okay, so James Tynion fans, Wind hardcover volume 2 is available for order. So this is the second story arc in Wind. It is just $19.99 for the hardcover.
Next up is Star Trek Explorer magazine. They've been doing so well with the Star Wars Insider. They're doing the Star Trek Explorer now. We're only on issue 2 of that. So we have the main previews cover. Then we have the newsstand edition with all of the trade dressings. And then finally we have the FOC Virgin variant cover. So let your store know that you want to order that.
That's the show for today.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you found it useful. And if you did, please leave us a comment with what you're most excited about. And make sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on all the social media stuff. And if by any chance you need a shop to order your stuff from, we're going to leave some info up on the screen. You can feel free to contact us there. Until then, have a great rest of the weekend, and we will see you guys next time.